Good morning. We are going to try a 50-mile hike today. We probably should be on trail already. It's about 20 after 6 right now in the morning, but I have a nice little egg scramble. Got some ham and some jalapenos to add to that still, along with the egg when time comes. Part of why we didn't get on the trail as early as we should have this morning is we had a very rare Northern Lights experience for us down here last night, and well, I took advantage of the opportunity and had to be out and up. So we'll pay for that tonight by staying up a little later, and maybe we'll get to catch it again tonight on the trail. But I took some amazing photos as far as I'm concerned. We got to see it by the naked eye for the first time in my life here, so that was pretty special too. So I'm gonna get a little caffeine in me, get this breakfast cooked up the rest of the way, get my clothes changed, and get to walking. I am gonna meet up with a couple friends this morning. They're gonna start up from me a little bit later and hike towards me, so we'll spend some hours together today, so we'll see how that goes. So the first part of today's trail is gonna feel pretty familiar to you all. We're gonna go around to Blind Lake, but over here we're gonna jump off onto the Waterloo Picnic Trail. Our goal is to hit 50, so let's get after it. It's gonna be long after dark before we're done. So when I show my map for today's trek, it's gonna look like I skipped the very northernmost section of the Pottle Loop, which is one of the sections that actually I like a lot. But it comes down to a miscommunication with my friends. So I cut across Patterson Road to hike back into them, and then I'm going to turn around and do a U-turn with them, and we'll move on from here. So just one of those little miscommunications, not a big deal. We were able to work it out. Shortcuts make it easier. But yeah, so on that note, about an hour and a half in, a little over. Pace is right there about 3. I didn't look at my mileage or anything, but we're doing all right. So I just stay kind of quiet. I've showed you all this stuff before, so we're just getting her done. Hey, those people that I gave bad directions to and I changed my route for, we found them. So now we get back to moving.
Hiking.
So we're almost 4 hours in, just over 12 miles in, so we are half a mile from being a quarter of the way done with today. So there is that little bit. Woohoo! Almost a quarter of the way done. Yay! No, not really. But hey, we'll keep walking. And I've been a little bit quiet today, just kind of grinding out this first portion. As things go through a little bit later and we're not pushing, I'll just spend a little more time talking with y'all. Still got this guy behind me for a couple more miles, and they're going to turn around and do their out. I figured out I had to go down the Waterloo Picnic Trail 18.5 miles today with the way things worked out. So when I hit my 27.5 mile mark, that's when I get to turn around and head back and catch back with the Pottle Loop and go around that way. So till then, mighty fine bridge here. Hey, so looks like we're about 6 hours and 40 minutes in. We're right close to 20 miles, a little over 19 some change when I looked last. Gotten a little distracted today. The mushrooms are out and spotted them quite a few times. And,
Well, every time I seem to do that, I seem to lose 10 minutes. But, you know, decisions are made every time that happens. I am kind of feeling my lighter night's sleep with staying up last night for the lights. But I'll do that again. Overall, it's pushed my pace down lower than it should be today. So we're just gonna keep moving, see what happens. I'm sore. The next thing I come to on this trail is the Discovery Center. I wasn't planning on taking a lunch quite that soon, but I might go ahead and take my break there, eat up, get my feet out of the shoes for a few minutes, see how I feel after, 30 minutes there, and push farther or turn around. Shoot for pushing farther, but even if I turned right now, it would still be 13 miles. Or no, more than that. Let's go. Let's get up this hill real quick. Well, that's enough to get the blood flowing. So, instead of just sitting here panting to you, I'll talk to you in a bit. I'm over hills already today. Quite a few goldens here, but it's too far gone. Not nice clumps either. Those things that we were seeing earlier popping up and coming out. From a distance back there though, I thought I just stepped on a mother lode. I was gonna call it a day right now, pick mushrooms. But, alas, they aren't mushrooms. So, I guess we better get back to moving. Do our lunch over here. Hey, so it's lunchtime. You come to know my PB&Js. We got a little Swiss cheese down in there, and we got some ham over there that we are gonna mix in too. I got the shoes off. I'm gonna take enough time to eat, and I think I'm gonna lay here on my back for 10 minutes, my foot elevated. See if we can get some of the pain out of it for a little bit. We got a little ways to go before we hit our turnaround point still, so we're still getting her done. Talk to you in a bit. Hey, so I thought I'd let you know, I did do a turnaround at the Discovery Center after lunch. I chose to make the start of the trip back to the truck. I ain't sure what I'm going to do for sure. I'll have to get back to the Potawatomi Trail. If I go back around and do it all, it will get me my 50 in still tonight, but my pace is atrocious and I haven't felt the greatest all day. But while I was at lunch, it decided to start raining on and off. Although I have my rain gear and whatnot, I was sitting there awfully dang cold. Now I'm warm again now. I decided that instead of hiking another 7 miles the wrong direction, it'd be best to push a few miles back in the right direction so that if the weather gets a little bit worse or I fall flat on my face, I have options that are better than making a phone call and waiting an hour for somebody to come get me. Then I have to admit that to her. That ain't no fun. So we'll make it this way and give ourselves more options this way. So either way, we're still going, and like I said, I haven't felt the greatest, and I've been really bad about filming today overall, and a lot of that goes into I just haven't felt the greatest, and I've been sore, which doesn't really make sense unless I'm coming down with that crud that's been going around, and that also happened while I was at lunch. Is I started coughing really good from really deep in my chest. So we'll see what happens tonight. Either way, you have at least, oh, what is it, 15 miles back at this point almost. So like I say, that puts me at 35. One more lap around and boom, right there at 50. But I have options this way. So hey, I'll check back in with you. I'll try and do a little bit better job of talking to you. And once the gets dark, I will throw the light on here and I'll show you what's going on. I think it's just pheasant back in here, but I got to get closer just to make sure. Those weren't oysters on that far tree. But no, it's all pheasant back. Oh my gosh. This guy has fallen over. Otherwise, this would probably be one of the biggest yellows I've ever found in my life. If this monster is sitting here, we are going to lose a few more minutes because we are going to have to look around. And this is how you can get distracted on a hike sometimes, especially when you're a forager too. And it's this time of year and just the woods is full of everything. And so much of it's so delicious. I cannot believe that that monster is the only thing that's there. Well, I guess that's what it was. So, I already picked a little bit of chicken, but there's another really nice one right there on the tree. So I think that we're adding a second one to the pack. This pack's starting to get a little heavy. This one is heavy. Oh, there we go though. Oh. So, problem is, that little guy right there feels that weighs 2 pounds. It's sopping full of water. And we're running out of room on the outside of our pack. It's not a bad looking view right there though. Trail left. Well, would you just look at that? A big old peckerhead sitting right there. See that guy? Oh, he's looking pretty bad though. I've always known him as peckerhead. That's what I grew up calling them. They're actually a half morel. Still plenty good to eat. I got a base of one over there. Another one on the ground. That guy's looking fairly rough. There's another. These guys just been here too long. Needed to come see them sooner. Helped them out. Picked them. False hopes, but worth looking. So, guess you don't need to see me for have this conversation. We'll look at this nice boardwalk, but pretty much decided today is going to be a fail day. It's going to come up short. Didn't even look at my mileage right now, but at this point, it's minimum 8 miles to get back to the truck. 7 o'clock now, 2.5 hours at the rate I'm going at least. We'll probably call it that way. I've had enough. I got a hitch in my step. Not feeling real great. As you've seen, we went through and started doing a little foraging on the way back through here. I have marked a couple more things that we're gonna come back and get tomorrow. They're pheasant backs, and I don't have the knife I like to use for them with me, and I don't really have the pack space either at this point in time. So they're all kind of short little walks in. So tomorrow we will come back in and get them. I'll keep you updated as we get these last 8 miles done here. Some days you have it, some days you just don't. It is what it is. And it's only a training hike, so only needed to push ourselves so hard and so far. A little bit bright. And with that, we are back to the Potto Loop. It's 8:30. We're gonna take the 4-mile loop out, get back to the truck in time to hopefully see those northern lights again tonight. I'll talk to you in a little bit, but I'm gonna push it. Hey, it's getting dark. The mosquitoes are getting a little bit vicious. We are down to our last 2 miles probably though. It's 20 after 9. So, which makes Silver Lake at 10. Talk to you when I'm at the truck. Good morning. So, I'm coming to realize I actually do a really bad job of reporting to you after I get back to the truck in the evenings. The last couple trips, I've just been terrible about it. Not really sure why. I think it's just I'm tired. And last night I went from sitting there for just a minute to it's time to go to bed right now. So that's what I did. But I got up this morning, had a quick little breakfast, and I drove over here to where a majority of the pheasant backs were that I wanted to come back and grab. So we're here. I got my shoes on. I'm gonna go do that. Yesterday I talked about the knife I carry for hiking isn't very good for cutting things like that off trees. And this is the knife I carry for hiking. It weighs 5 grams by Nightcore, and it uses, I think it's a number 11 scalpel blade. I put the paracord on there just so I don't lose it. I actually like using it for the hiking aspect, but when it comes to anything like foraging or anything like that, it's not very good. So I'm gonna toss the head cam on and we'll hike back to the farthest one I have on this section and we'll work our way forward. I'll show you how I select them and what ones I like, the size, and all of that. So it appears I had a failure on my camera saving on the last group I cut up. There's actually quite a few of those, but this little guy just has these 2. So we are going to take them real quick. And I just like to cut them right there, right at the base. You'll see how many we had that first stop I stopped at. I think there's 4 or 5 of them in there, but you know, compared to this little stash, it's quite a bit. But I have one more good stash on this trail, and we'll see what we can get with it. So what I did is I walked all the way in to the farthest one I had marked in this section. So this is the last one on the way out, and this has a lot of different ones on it. So we got these 3 right here at the top, which look great. Looks like they're all attached in different ways and shapes and forms. So let's take, we ended up getting that guy, which is a little bigger than what we prefer to have, but this guy is good. And his friend down there. Oh, my apologies. It looks like I had a fair bit of trouble with my other camera this morning when I was trying to record on the head camera while I was cutting these guys up and whatnot off the tree. But in that little bit of effort from what we marked yesterday, we managed to collect quite a few pheasant backs, mostly all right in that good rump size. Those are the 2 chickens that we collected yesterday. Plus we have just those few morels from yesterday. All in all, not terrible for foraging. I'd like to had, 4 pounds of morels and ate them until I got sick, but we'll take these. And even these ones that are a little bit bigger on the pheasant back, they get tough, but we'll save those for crock pot meals. Throw them in with the stews and with the roast and whatnot, and they'll be okay for that. So I'm gonna call it a weekend. I'm gonna go home, clean these guys up, and sadly mow the lawn because responsibilities happen. Till next time.